On a new pressure transfer hose we had designed for this setup, where we have an Orca fueling trucks with only 6,000 gallon capacity. We needed extra capacity, so we brought in an ISO trailer to act as a storage. What we found is when we wanted to transfer fuel between the ISO into the Orca, we were always dealing with pressure issues and having to vent more than we wanted. So I'm going to show you briefly a solution we designed and have implemented on all of our Orcas, and it's worked tremendously. It's done two things. One thing is it's reduced significantly the amount of venting we do, and it's also sped up the process for the driver when he's transferring fuel or bringing in a new load of fuel. So the concept is simply, the pressure on our Orca right now is just over 120, 130 pounds, and our storage vessel is sitting really low at only 20 to 30 pounds of pressure. So typically we would, on the ISO, build pressure by opening the pressure build coils, running it through our pressure builder, and trying to build the pressure in this ISO as high as possible. This ISO can go to 110. Our transport tankers can only go to 70. So we would try to get that up to 70. That still left us with a big gap between the 120 pounds and 130 pounds on the Orca. So traditionally, we would come in and open the vent valve and which simply vents the pressure into the atmosphere out of the vent tubes. So in order to help ourselves vent less and pressure the transfer vessel more quickly, we designed and installed a hose with a cryogenic valve here that was then connected to a long 30-foot hose, which is more than we need for this project, but it allows us to reach over to a tanker as well. We can do the same concept with a tanker that pulls up. Anyway, we connect that to the vapor recovery line, see V9, and once connected with a LNG 300, we can then first of all do hose line drain or vent. So I'll open that valve just to purge the line, since I'm hooking it up for the first time, and I control the pressure through this valve we've installed over here on the Orca. After I've purged the line, I would come back over to the drain, the hose drain, close that off, and now I'm able to open the pressure into the ISO itself. And with that open, I come back and begin transferring pressure. Now the pressure in the Orca will start to fall. The noise you're hearing is the gas going into the ISO itself, and we'll start to build pressure in the ISO without using the pressure builder. So again, we're avoiding venting, and I could actually crank that up and pressure this up extremely fast. Once they become equalized, if that happens, where the ISO is at 100 and this is at 100. I'm gonna have this start to, hold on. It gets cold. Once that happens, then you may have to vent briefly. Turn that off for the noise. You may have to vent briefly the traditional way in the Orca once they become equal. Anyway, that's been successful. Like I said, we use that for tank-to-tank transfers. We also have one at each Orca, so when a tanker comes up and only fills the Orca, we use the pressure from the Orca to build the tanker up to 70.